go. I'm gonna make this like an hour. This live stream, this SmackDown review will be like an hour long. I just want to make sure this is uploading so y'all can hear me. Making sure this is working. You can hear my commentary. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Alright. At least this is on so y'all can hear me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. We're going to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. Now, Smackdown is almost over, like 5 minutes left in the main show. So, I actually want to talk about the message, the news and rumors in WWE. Hold on. Oh, God damn it. The goddamn connection's not working. And I really hate the... Come on now with this crap. Something wrong with the connection. I'm trying to get into my walkthrough, my game, my review, my live stream. Yes, something wrong with the connection here. And I really hate the goddamn connection. It gets on my nerves. Well, we do have a bad connection where we live, but it really pisses me off. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below you guys want to see more. My video is sponsored by JD from New York, Fight for Pro Wrestling, Sound Off to Sound Off. Now, we did see, I watched a little bit of NXT. I watched a little bit of AEW, thought it was a shit show. Smackdown, I don't know what to say about Smackdown. Now, the show opened up with Randy Orton, who won the Chamber on Saturday. He had a pretty good 7 with Trick Williams to start the show. And the end with Randy Orton RKO Trick Williams to open the show. And then we had another open challenge with Carmelo Hayes against Elvon Grander from the Triple H show. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Katana and Julia to see who faces the Women's Tag Team Champion Nia and Lash Legend. There was a segment where they came out to celebrate their accomplishment on Saturday, but they were interrupted by the babyfaces Alexa and Charlotte, Julia and Katana James. They came out and they had some words with James. They got into a tag team. Might as well just show y'all some of the match cards on here. Alright. Hold on. Get into a one-on-one match. Alright. Get into some of these matches here. Carmelo Hayes versus there we go. Now to get into Charlotte and Alexa. Alright. Alexa Bliss. Charlotte Flair. Katana James. I don't think we have Julia on this. No, we don't. Alright. No, we don't have Julia on here. So I gotta choose someone else. Now, we did get a tag team turbo match to see who will face the tag team champion, the Wyatt Six. We had Los Gaza defeating Fraxium. They beat Nathan Fraser and Axiom. Then Fraxium defeated the Mobile Machine Guns. Then they defeated the Wyatt Six with help of the MSTs. And then we got Damian Priest and R-Truth. They defeated They defeated Angel Garza and Humberto. So it looks like Damian Priest and R-Truth will be facing the YSF for tag team titles. Alright, here we go. So after that match, now we did get a executive with Bo Dallas speaking, but wasn't really that much. Anyway, we got Obafemi on SmackDown versus Johnny Gargano. It was actually a squat match, and Gargano wasn't even he wasn't even in the gear. I mean, he wore he wore pants, but he wasn't in the gear, and he got squat by Obafemi. I don't know if he's on Raw or SmackDown. He's been wrestling more on SmackDown than Raw. So I guess he's showing up on whatever show, I guess. Now, we did get a segment with Jay Cargill and Rhea Ripley, face-to-face for the title match at WrestleMania. Wasn't that good? They're very short. Jade is awful, and Rhea, she's, I don't know how the feud can be booked, but it's only the first appearance. We still got a couple of weeks left to WrestleMania. We actually got next month on April 18 or April 19. Okay, now we get into the main event with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Alright. Hold on. Now, hold on. I do want to, pretty sure SmackDown's already over. So, now let's get into the main event with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Champion. Now let's see who won this match. I already made my predictions on who's gonna win this match, so I'm just gonna skip ahead. Hold on. We got, oh, there go Jacob Fatu. Here's a future shot. Who's gonna win this match? The camera's showing. Wait a minute. Here's the crossroads. Oh, so Cody Rhodes actually won? I didn't really see. So Jacob Fatu got involved. He took the chair away from Cody Rhodes. So he took the chair away from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes won with a Cody Cutter crossroad and went back to the WWE Championship. Now, Fatu did get involved, but he didn't cause a DQ, which is kind of surprising and shocking. Cody Rhodes actually won the title back on a random SmackDown after the Chamber. He's now a 3-time WWE champion. I don't like how we're just taking it off of Cody Rhodes to put it back on him. But I think they did that because we're going to get Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Unless Fatu gets involved and makes it a fatal 4-way, we just don't know. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know. So I'm a little confused here. Well, Fatu didn't screw Cody Rhodes. He screwed Drew McIntyre. So he got no beef with Cody Rhodes, even though they had beef. Maybe at Saturday Night Main Event. But, well, Fatu is a babyface, and Cody's a babyface. Drew's the heel. Orton's is... Well, not really. Orton's not a heel. He's kind of a babyface. Drew was the only heel here. Only one that got screwed. He got screwed because of Fatu. So it's been official. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And we'll see who's going to win that. Pretty good match. Cody Rhodes won, and that's how the show goes off the air. You would think that they would set up a fatal four-way, but it doesn't look like they are getting a fatal four-way. Based on how this ended, I think we are getting it. Cody and Randy. It's already announced. Drew McIntyre got screwed because of Jacob. Jacob didn't screw Cody. He didn't call the match end in a DQ. So it looks like they won't be doing a fatal four-way. They'll be doing a one-on-one. Probably because Cody and Randy is the bigger match than just a fatal four-way where you have like all four guys involved. So Drew McIntyre was a transitional champion. He only wanted to spike things up a little bit. Even though I don't like that, I find it kind of lousy how you just take the belt off him over and over. Like, you know, after winning it back, he lost the WrestleMania, he won it back from Cena, he didn't really do much. And he put it on Drew McIntyre to change things up. But now he dropped the title. Probably because Drew was a transitional champion, wouldn't do much with it. Well, it doesn't look like that. We're getting a fatal four-way. It looks like we're getting a one-on-one match. So because they want to build up Cody and Randy. And I do understand that. And I appreciate that. This is the match that people have wanted to. But they barely have built to that. They barely had even built to Cody and Randy. Last time we saw them one-on-one was at Night Champion. And that was a one-off. And they haven't really built to that. Hopefully next week we start building the Cody and Randy. And the storyline and the history. And the build. And hopefully we get a heel turn to progress the storyline. Hopefully. I'm curious how the feud's gonna be. Now, what did Drew McIntyre do? He obviously gonna wrestle Jacob Fatu. You know, Fatu screwed over Drew McIntyre. He took the chair away because Drew tried to cheat. And but the way how you put Drew McIntyre champion and after the match he had with Sami Zayn, yeah, this is not the guy I want to see going into WrestleMania. Okay, so yeah. We do have, for the NBA with the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum's season debut returned from the Achilles injury. Alright. Now let's go into some of my podcasters here.
We got a chime coming in from the man himself.
Yeah, so during that 7 with Jade and Rhea, we are saying, I'm taking your time by force. Overfin destroyed Gargano in an impromptu match. Bo Dallas won't wait till he gets back what he wants, not the lantern. Alright, look on this on the podcasters here.
They kind of got the match stipulations reversed. Naomi says hopefully Randy will still win the title at WrestleMania.
I'm not sure. I think Cody Rhodes might win, and then we could get a heel turn, whether by Cody or Randy. Well, after losing last year in a embarrassing way to John Cena by Travis Scott, I think that Cody Rhodes should probably win, and then we can get Randy Orton turn heel on Cody Rhodes. That's what I expect to see at WrestleMania. Because going into the show, they're both baby faces. Unless something changes where Drew could I'm not gonna get a rematch because he just lost clean. Cody didn't cheat; he lost clean, so it would make sense. So I think it makes sense to do a one-on-one match. Now, as for the news and rumors, as you guys know, we know that Road Dogg got fired from Creative. Finley choosing AEW over NXT. David Finley, I mean.
Carmelo was okay, wasn't bad, wasn't great. The in-ring tonight, nothing stands out.
The plan seemingly was always this. So, it's just gone the way
Okay.
that they, sort of expected it to go. If you want to be down on anything, I wouldn't
Creative
necessarily be down on Cody getting the belt back. I would be down on the fact that they're not putting Drew in that Mania match.
And here I thought Drew McIntyre should be the main event, but I guess not. I'm surprised that they put in a no contest. I really don't like this hot potato in the belt, with something I actually hate, by the way.
So here hanging out with us. It seems like everybody's like wanting London, England, WrestleMania at some point. We got Willard here says, if you take Luchu, there will be no Dusty finish. That's good.
Now, should we even get Drew McIntyre and Fatu in a one-on-one match? For what exactly? Well, they just made the graphic official gonna be Cody and Randy. I don't see Drew McIntyre for a rematch. Well, he lost clean. Fatu didn't really screw him because, Drew tried to cheat. He took the chair away and he screwed over Drew. But he lost clean to Cody Rhodes. You can't justify that. And Fatu, I should be in it. Hold on. Now, you guys know the WWE 2K26 is coming out, I think, this month. God damn it with the damn internet and the damn connection.
That's good. Shout out to Kaden Got Good who says, what is going on here? I have no idea. Dragon Knight says, oh my god, stop. JM says, Sashi says, he's coming. Oh, okay, good to know, good to know. Alright, let me go through some more comments in here. Big Boss says, so gurgle.
We do have some of the news and rumors that we can finally talk about. The ones about Jade Cardell. She really ate bits. The real reason WWE locker room hates Jade, because how she wrestled and how she acts backstage. There's another news and rumor. WrestleMania 42 main event change. Is Drew McIntyre losing to Cody Rhodes? The WWE has a major problem brewing in their women's locker room, and it finally spilled out for the entire world to see. What started as a bigger war of words on X between the women's champion Jade and Rhea had completely spun out of control. While some dirt sheets are definitely trying to spin this as a thieves' work to build mass hype, the reality is far worse. With Rhea breaking down the real backstage heat with Jade Cardell and the legitimate real-life conflict with Rhea Ripley, and why the locker room finally turned on the champion. There's a lot here to read here. I'm not going to go through all of it. The real-life Twitter feud between Rhea and Jade is a shoot, not a work. Why the locker room turned on Jade. Dangerous in the ring, the growing list of injured talent like B-Fab, Meeting, and Tiffany Stratton. Damage control. WWE management forcing talent to stay quiet to protect Jade's puss. breaking down the conflict between Meltzer and Fightful, PW Insider.
I think we could all agree that it hasn't really felt like WrestleMania season. And most of the time, 26. Now, I want to start from the very beginning. There was a social media exchange between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley that a lot of people were paying close attention to during Monday Night Raw. And in the hours leading up to Monday Night Raw, people were spreading all of this, and it spread like wildfire on X. The rivalry between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, the current WWE Women's Champion, took an intense turn on Monday on social media, leading many fans to question the legitimacy of their recent exchanges. Now, on Monday, Ripley took to Twitter to express that she was not having fun. I don't think many people are having fun with the current product, but she's not having fun. And seemingly accused Jade Cargill of breaking the fourth wall during a heated back and forth that involved several other WWE stars. And the online interaction sparked significant conversation about the blurred lines between character work and real-life friction in the locker room. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer provided his insights into the creative strategy behind the social media war between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. Meltzer noted that while the exchange is part of an orchestrated work to build anticipation for their upcoming match, the company is intentionally incorporating authentic sentiments from the talent to enhance the realism
if you have a
of
look
the story.
online,
By involving other wrestlers in the conversation, the goal is to convince the audience that the animosity is genuine. Now, Brian Alvarez says they're doing an angle on Twitter to make you think that they actually hate each other. The deal that's interesting about this angle is they've involved other people like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, who's out with injury right now, to make you think it's all real. Now, Jade is feuded with Chelsea and Piper Niven in the beginning stages of her WWE Smackdown run. The funny part is, ever since that thing with Jade and Shayna Baszler from months ago, I'm reading this, I'm thinking that is exactly what these people would say. I'm not saying the people who tweeted have said that to me. I'll only say that those words have been said to me, Meltzer said. He also went on to say that the prevailing viewpoint is there among talent and amongst people there is identical to some of the things that were tweeted. It's a really interesting thing because it is a work. If it was real, they're not doing it. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, they're not going to bury someone on their own team in public because they know you can't do this. It is not allowed. But they are using Twitter, the thoughts of many people when doing this angle. They're trying to make it out like it's a shoot, and they're really going to fight at this show. And they have a face-to-face on Friday. It's weird because when you do it on Twitter, it's just an attempt. It is an attempt to get some heat for the match. So,
and give me the justice. Also, I've been on here. I've never received more death threats in my life.
I do agree with Meltzer in one aspect.
Because
WWE's not
to me,
going to
it really
allow
sucked the
any of their talent to go on
waiting
social
after
media
so we
and
done
bury
school.
each other
Yes,
on social media. It's not the Wild
it really
Wild
shouldn't
West
do the.
like it is in AEW, where things have honest storyline going into your championship match at WrestleMania. Jade has legitimate heat, no doubt about it. I 100% agree with the report. And then reports started to come out that Jade has legitimate heat backstage in WWE. As far as the reputation in the locker room, I've heard, says WrestleVotes, I've heard from a couple of different sources that there is heat there. Not everyone's favorite talent. She's still a star in WWE's eyes. WWE clearly views her as a star. At the time, Sapp clarified there was no confirmed blame or producer-level heat. He went on to say, and I quote, well, Tiffany hasn't wrestled since a match with her as well, but I want to make it clear, I don't know if it was specifically spots that Jade did.
And you're right, violence never justified, but
I don't have any
you
of
know,
that
it
information,
is
but
right
it was certainly
to write
discussed
social
among
wrong and
talent
stop
and
appearance.
has been
Because
discussed
when it
among
comes
talent.
to those people,
I
they're
didn't
not
hear any
human beings.
specific heat from the office or producers or anything of that nature. But talent definitely do notice the trend, and it does get talked about in the locker room. Absolutely. And then, Mike Johnson of PW Insider put out
UP.
the one thing that I think kind of blends all of these reports together. Mike Johnson from PW Insider details the backstage reaction to an escalating situation between Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, and the rest of the women's locker room. A number of sources within the company have placed the blame for the public blow-up directly on Jade Cargill. So it goes to what I just said previously. WWE's not going to allow them to just say whatever they want freely. In this case, it might have been a situation where something got out, WWE was quick to see it, nip it in the bud, say, you know what, let's calm this shit down, don't take it to social media. If you want to do something like that, let's turn it into a storyline. Let's get everybody on the same level, first and foremost. Turn it into a storyline. Take that real-life animosity and those tensions to television. It'll be good television, and we'll revolve the championship match at WrestleMania around that story. That's what the situation is. It started out as for a little bit, turns it into a work, and it's going to remain a work. A fear match. I don't remember if it was on Rampage or Dynamite, and I indicated that management will likely step in to speak with Cargill regarding her professional relationship with the rest of the locker room, if that's not already been done. The source production. Conversely, Cargill as the is it going to be any? Then make it real. Smackdown stream will happen Saturday night. I will be in Chicago until Friday, and we're doing House of Glory, and then
The night one main
the
event.
WWE title situation on Friday Night Smackdown is getting a little bit chaotic in a good way.
SmackDown against good.
In a good way. It's getting a little bit more unpredictable in a very good way. And it all comes out of the Elimination Chamber. A lot of those questions now are seemingly getting answered with Randy Orton winning the Elimination Chamber. A lot of the people that were watching the show on Saturday, they all figured with Randy Orton winning the Elimination Chamber, Cody Rhodes getting screwed again by Drew McIntyre, that we'd probably be headed towards a fatal four-way with Drew McIntyre costing Fatu and costing Cody. He's got into it with Randy. All of these actions will have consequences, and at the end of it all, Drew McIntyre would be put in a match with Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, and Randy Orton for the night one main event of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Fatal four-way for the WWE Championship. That is what people were thinking about. Then we got the Elimination Chamber post-show. An announcement by Nick Aldis that Drew McIntyre will be defending the WWE Championship this Friday on Smackdown against Cody Rhodes. Now, this goes against the contract that Nick Aldis and Drew McIntyre agreed upon, but the title will be on the line. Now there are a new set of plans and more news and different directions going into WrestleMania. We're going to discuss all of that today, right here on Off the Script. It is your Friday, March 6th, 2026. Now, apparently, there is news on the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. The news is, it's not going to be a fatal four-way. It's not going to be a fatal five-way. It's not going to be a triple threat with Cody and Randy, or Drew, or Cody, Drew, and McIntyre. None of these things are happening. We now have a new set of plans that lays out the top of the card for SmackDown as follows. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Now, there is backstage news on when Cody and Randy were made aware of their new WrestleMania plans. According to Fightful, both Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton were aware of the creative pitch for their WrestleMania encounter as early as January. While the title landscape has shifted considerably over the last 2 months, with Drew McIntyre winning the championship, both stars have reportedly been working with this specific destination in mind. The report also shed light on the creative decision to have Cody drop the WWE Championship on January 9th. Sources indicate that the title change was not a reflection of Rhodes' standing, but rather a strategic move to allow him to participate in the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber matches. By having Cody compete in these matches, WWE looked to add significant drawing power to those specific premium live events. That is bullshit. Sapp reported that. I don't find that to be anywhere close to the truth. The reason why they took the WWE Championship off of Cody Rhodes is because they needed to. Not because they needed to sell tickets to the Royal Rumble or sell tickets to the Elimination Chamber because Cody needed to be in those matches to boost ticket sales or interest in those matches. Give me a fucking break. Are you kidding me? The reason why they took the WWE Championship off of Cody Rhodes and put it on Drew McIntyre is because if you didn't have McIntyre at least beat Cody once, and I'm not talking about in the confines of a 3 Stages of Hell match, and then Cody ends up winning the last fall, the last stage. He needed to win the entire thing. Otherwise, you make him look weak. Otherwise, his character is completely ruined. And everything that you've built up with Drew McIntyre isn't going to be taken serious in any sense at all. He needed to beat Cody. He needed to win the WWE Championship. It was a strategic move in that sense, not a strategic move in getting Cody, in this situation where we got to put him in the Rumble because it's going to be better for the match. We got to put him in the Chamber because it's going to be better for the match. No, it was going to be better for Drew to beat Cody and win the WWE Championship. Never mind those fucking other excuses. I want to lay that out there right now. Whatever you read is not true. What I told you is the absolute factual situation of the matter. Now, while Orton versus Rhodes remained the plan, as of last month, the report cautions that WWE creative remains in a state of flux. With several weeks still remaining until WrestleMania, the flux of the current landscape means that directions could still shift. Now, there's backstage news on Drew McIntyre, being that we got Cody and Randy as the main event penciled in right now. That means Cody will win the WWE Championship on Friday Night Smackdown, and Jacob Fatu may actually cost him that match. It's the only thing that makes sense because it's going to bleed into what I'm going to tell you here.
Ladies and gentlemen, twice yearly prep is here. One office visit every 6 months, 2 times a year for 8.
Now, PW Insider, Bodyslam.net, they've shed some light on a significant shift for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42. The current plan involves Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, with Cody Rhodes defending against Randy Orton at WrestleMania Night 1. This path has solidified for what? Because he's been doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and all this was being pushed to the brink. Title to Mania, have him drop Orton and Cody Rhodes over the last few years. Despite long-term planning for the season, both Rhodes and McIntyre reportedly did not learn of the official change to the title match until last week. With the championship picture shifting, the current creative plan is for Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu to go one-on-one at WrestleMania. His placement on the card comes doing all this and turns, and this is what they sell WrestleMania on. The road to WrestleMania is going to have twists and turns and unpredictability. A lot of this stuff is all the big guns tied up in one match. Right way to go about it. Plus, we get that Randy and Cody match in the story that Smackdown so desperately needs.
Yeah, they do.
I remember being mentioned as well. But yes, they were in the Tank Turmoil match. I don't hate this.
Using Drew's move against him, but Drew kicked out of that. A little bit of WrestleMania 17 here with the guys using each other's finishers. Cody went for the disaster kick, but then McIntyre pulled the referee.
WrestleMania shake-up.
At first I didn't like it, but Joe Tessitore, I think he's a great fit. I'm here for it. So yes, we get back to this match between Carmelo Hayes and El Hijo de... Dr. Wagner. Thank you. Jesus Christ, my brain said nope, nope.
We can just go with Dr. Wagner. It's fine.
Damn it.
Oh, Dr. Mac.
The
Dr.
goddamn
Wagner.
connection, the damn network.
This was an inter-promotion.
Right now, I'm trying to show y'all Fight for Pro Wrestling.
This was a good match. I will say, I thought, and this is just me, I don't watch wrestling. I thought Wagner got hurt towards the last third of the match when his hair came out because I.
Madagascar reference. Moto likes you. You have trouble standing after that.
I like now. Doing it before marriage or during marriage makes sure you're home. In any sort of world, are you at all shocked that Cody Rhodes has once again got in his WrestleMania spot and is going on to face Randy Orton?
Are you asking me if I'm surprised? No. I am still excited for Randy versus Cody Rhodes, don't get me wrong. I just felt like there was an opportunity to really just punch us in the gut, to punch us in the side of the head and do something different. Get McIntyre in there, get Fatu in there, do a big Smackdown main event fatal 4-way. I thought that was on the table, but in the back of my head, I always knew this was the destination. Randy versus Cody is a proper WrestleMania main event. The only thing I will say is if you really want to, as WWE has clearly been needing to, you want to move tickets, you need to turn one of them heel. You can't walk into WrestleMania with Buddy Randy versus Cody. One, because we've actually kind of already seen that. A lot of people like to shoo away the Night of Champions King of the Ring final, but we already saw the two buddies trying to figure out who's the best between the two. Now I want to see a storyline here. Now I want to see them go back to the time of when they were in Legacy, and I want them to tell that story, because that ended up poorly, right? That imploded. I want to see a proper narrative. I want there to be a good guy. I want there to be a bad guy. Or at the very minimum, blur the lines. Make me believe that each one of these guys could dive into a more sinister, darker side in order to win this match. I just don't want the hey, dap it up, let's see who is the best. Give me something. Because this is a storyline in a feud that Denise, we have been waiting for years. And I do feel that they kind of forced it to get here. Like, oh shit, we need to get here somehow. Fucking just give the title back to Cody, even though in a match that makes no logical sense for it to actually happen, because there's an actual literal contract that says that his match can happen. But forget it. All right, we're here. Now do something with it. That's what I want. Give me something now.
Well, Santi, let me tell you, when you said that someone needs to be heel because you don't want none of this, we respect each other, we love each other, sportsmanship, yada, yada, yada. We know they respect each other. We got that part. Randy has told that to Cody Rhodes about 100 times. Now, I hate to say it, we've said it a million times, but we've been seeing these backstage moments between Cody and Sammy where they have like this crazy, they're almost like this couple, Santi. This is the way that I see them. They seem like this couple that can't stop fighting. They both are kind of making sense in their own way. They might both have good intentions, but the heat of the argument is getting in the way of everything. And I feel like those glimpses that we've seen of Cody backstage with Sammy, those might be the moments that you're starting to wonder about Cody and his personality, and whether or not, if you're talking about somebody having to turn heel in this matchup with Cody or Randy, is it more money for Randy to be that guy, or is it more money for Cody to be that guy? Or might we see something similar to what we're seeing with Roman and CM Punk, where they're both kind of toting that line between babyface and heel? Because if you ask me, after CM Punk, saying the things about laying Roman Reigns next to his Randy. Because Randy's the guy that many people know, like back in the day, if you wanted to see if you were going to make it in WWE, they would put a guy against Randy. And if he fails in a match with Randy, that guy was out the door. Cody was after being freaking Stardust while Randy was being, everything he was being. So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot in there. And I remember when Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania, Santi, they had this big press conference that day. And the first thing, of course, people were asking Cody, when do you think we're going to get that match with you and Randy? And I swear, since that moment, all the way through now, he has been asked multiple times when this match is going to happen. So I think that no matter what, this was always going to be the match. I know sometimes we don't always give credit to WWE for having things planned ahead of time. I'm starting to think that this was planned the entire time all the way through. That's just where I'm at with all of this.
I agree that this was always the plan. If this was always the plan, though, why couldn't you have made the road to get to that plan make sense? Again, why do this? Cody can't challenge for the title because it's in the contract, but then Nick Aldis can just be like, nah, you went back on your word, so I go back on my word. To which I point, like, it wasn't a fucking word. It was a contract. It's law. Like, Drew, get a lawyer. This isn't. Better call Saul here. So why even put that in there? If you always had the plan to eventually give it back to Cody, it's nitpicky. But you and I, and honestly everyone listening to this show, we are the nitpicky fans because we are the ones that invest hours and hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars of our money into this hobby. So, frankly, I'm gonna fucking nitpick. We've earned our nitpick, and I'm gonna nitpick that. If it was always the end goal, why put yourself in a weird, unnecessary corner with the storytelling to get us to this path anyway?
Well, they tend to do that all the time. They're constantly rewriting the rules. They're constantly, God, I remember, okay, so the second that we started the Elimination Chamber post show and everybody was commenting that this match was made for Smackdown, I thought, oh, well then it doesn't matter that Cody Rhodes lost the Elimination Chamber because he's gonna win on Smackdown. And I kind of felt like, I felt a little bit screwed, I guess you could say, because I'm thinking to myself, like, this big portion not only happened on this post show, but this was such a much bigger indication of what is going to happen at WrestleMania than the actual fallout that we saw play out on the show itself, which I thought was kind of crazy that went down the way that it did. But Santi, a lot of people are called, like, making fun, like, playing jokes and jest that, like, hey, that interview that I did with Drew McIntyre had the freaking spoiler. Remember I told you? I said, dude, his answer was a little weird, man. And from that moment, Santi, that's when I started to think, okay, this is going to go a totally different direction. I think that they just I don't think they wanted Cody winning the Elimination Chamber to be so predictable. I think they were trying so hard to be unpredictable that's why they got to Randy and Cody the way that they did.
I know, I get it, but it also feels unnecessarily complicated. It feels like they robbed the consequences of losing at the Elimination Chamber. Like, I think about think about the story that they were telling with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. Like, oh, you know what? Sorry, Sammy, you didn't take advantage. That's why I'm champion, because I take advantage of these situations, right? That's why I have won championships and you haven't. And then what happens when Cody makes the exact same mistake? Rather than being punished like Sami Zayn has been in his storyline and trying to find himself, we don't see that same consequence for Cody. Instead, it's just like, even though he makes the exact same mistake that he was ridiculing Sami for, the consequence of that is he just gets a title match again. I get it. We're just trying to get to the end goal. Cody versus Randy, that's a fucking awesome end goal. I just wish we could have made it make a lot more sense and not overcomplicate things on our way there. And frankly, damage the main event of Elimination Chamber by killing the consequences of Cody Rhodes making the same mistake that Sami made.
Yeah, so now do you feel like Sami's just justified in his anger? Because he's been doing those outbursts,
Yeah.
do you think he's justified now?
I think he's been justified actually the whole time. I get angry every time he apologizes after his outburst because I think all of them are justified.
See, I'm trying to get you back on Sami Zayn's side too because yes, he is right. And I was wondering too if we would see Sami out there because Randy told him today like listen to the voices in your head. So now I'm wondering, okay, what are those voices gonna be? And then also now for some of you guys who may be wondering what the hell is gonna be next for Drew McIntyre, I still think now that they're gonna do Drew versus Jacob Fatu. I don't know if they add Sami to that. Do they add Sami to that?
I think Sami's going down the route of Trick Williams.
Yeah, well, Trick Williams does need a WrestleMania matchup. So, and then Trick took the RKO today from Randy. There were some people that are upset about how Trick has been treated the last few weeks, I guess. He had been eliminated by Logan Paul at the Elimination Chamber, which I freaking hated, by the way. And then today getting RKO'd by Randy, that I did not mind whatsoever because it's Randy. And Randy's Randy, so I didn't care for that. But I thought that was kind of sick, like him going out there and still having that moment and getting in Randy's face.
Denise, if you hear anyone complaining about it, they're burying Trick Williams. They're not using him well enough. That right there is a telltale sign that person just got into wrestling. He's in the main event immediately after getting called up from NXT, and you think he's getting buried, that they're not using him well? May I show you the Rolodex of NXT main eventers that got actually fucking buried?
You want to talk about
at this juncture, it's gotta be a Mania program.
Maybe he gets cursed.
Repel, clean, and protect with Rain X Pro interior product.
You could have done anything, but you decided to go with the same choice. You decided we gotta sell these tickets. We gotta sell these $30,000 tickets. What match is gonna potentially make people want to pay $30,000? Oh, we know. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Not Randy Orton as a heel versus Cody Rhodes. No, just
what the path is, what the match is, what the program is.
Maybe he could just have a bit. Maybe he doesn't have to have a match. Maybe he could just have like a bit, like a segment.
Could be a Mania 39 situation with Bad Bunny where he didn't have a match. He had a segment and a bit where he helped Rey Mysterio win, and then Backlash was Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. Maybe it's something with Jelly at Mania, not a match. Maybe something that sets them up to have a match in Tampa, in Backlash, maybe.
Maybe he becomes the host of WrestleMania.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that. I'm serious. I could see that. I just don't. I'm having a tough time connecting the match right now.
Yeah, same. It's not. For me, it's like once I see it one time, and if I'm not like a big fan of that person, I just don't care anymore the second time around. Thank you, Juan G Show. We also got Roselle PPC here who says that Drew kept screwing over Cody in both the Rumble and the Chamber. The stipulation was Cody had to earn it, but Drew messed it up and he kept getting interference. He also goes on to add it was not the same mistake. Drew attacked Cody, and Cody defended himself and then got RKO'd. Sami helped Cody when he didn't have to and then lost. He says, I love how I can respond to the points of the podcast in a respectful manner and have fun talking wrestling. Keep up the good work, both of you. Thank you, Riddell. I appreciate that. Well, that was part of your argument is part of the reason why Nick Aldis decided to go about things the
beat up, anyways, whatever. It still doesn't make sense because it's a fucking contract. We can't change contracts on a whim. On a whim like that.
Thank you, Rundell. We got Beacher2310 who says if Jade and Rhea are two alphas, let them be that. Too much respect talk. Promo didn't get halfway decent until Rhea actually started talking about fighting. Did you like the promo? Because I gotta be honest with you, I was digging it. In the beginning, I was like, where are we going? Because in the beginning, the part I wasn't so sure about was where they were like comparing each other's like physique.
Your body, you might have a bigger shoulder, bigger
That was
arm.
weird.
Somebody in my chat said something hilarious. I'm like, imagine listening to that portion of the promo, just like when you're in bed with your eyes closed. Like there's no wrestling context. You're just listening to two people talk about each other's bodies. Weird. It was a weird promo.
Your legs are strong, but mine are stronger.
It was weird. I didn't like it. I mean, I liked
The beginning was weird, but I get why they did it though. They wanted just to set up the line where Rhea says that hers, that part I thought was good. When she said that hers was to fight and to survive and hers was just for first look.
What do you think about the fact that it seems like they're just like, okay, we are not gonna lean into the Twitter beef.
I think they kind of did lean into the Twitter beef in a way.
No way. No.
I'll tell you how.
How?
So when Rhea said the line about her purpose being like the thing that she has, but her basically saying like that's all it is. It's just for looks. I'm the one who actually uses it to fight and to survive. She was basically saying, Jade, you're not good in the ring. That's what that line meant to me. That's connected to the online drama because that's what I think that was a shot that Piper had thrown at her where she had said something about Jade not being good in the ring and her getting exposed, blah blah blah. So in my mind, I felt like that subtly did sort of connect to the social media beef that they were having.
But I thought that the beef came, like, the reason it was like, oh, I guess this is real, is the shot about how Rhea politics. And, like, you're spending time with the creative politics or whatever. And meanwhile, in this promo, you had Jade going out there, I respect that you earned your opportunity and you won Elimination Chamber. It's like, oh, okay, that doesn't actually connect with what you believed on Twitter, which is that she doesn't earn her opportunities, that she just goes to creative and politics for those opportunities. I feel like you are wanting to find the connection to the online feed.
Oh, you're straight up making this all up in my head?
I think so. I think that the line of like my body is for fighting doesn't, to me it did. It doesn't scream that you're saying that her body isn't good for professional rep. I don't know. I'm not connecting the dots like you are there.
Okay, I totally did. She was saying you're not good.
But why wouldn't you just say that? Why wouldn't you just, that would get so much harder than the weird 5 minutes of talking about each other's muscles just to set up for that.
Look, well, I mean, you're not gonna, that's a terrible thing to say. You suck at wrestling in a promo? Then it's like, oh, bury the whole matchup. How's anyone gonna get excited about that? So you gotta find a different way to say it without actually saying it. And that's how I took that.
I don't see it that way. I just think it was just a weird promo.
Okay, well, anyways, my arms are bigger and stronger than yours, and I can punch harder. And with the part where she said, if you give me your best shot, it's not going to do anything, but if I give you my best shot, it's going to go somewhere. Basically saying, her shot sucks. Mine don't, because I'm a real wrestler. That's how I took that promo.
I think you're reaching. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it that way.
I thought it right away the second she said it.
I'm trying. I'm not just being facetious or annoying. I just don't see the dots you're connecting.
Okay, fine. We got two totally different things from this promo, by the way. Thank you so much to be true. We got Suicide Cowboy who says, yo, Denise, you and Santi should make a wager on the outcome of WrestleMania, Randy versus Cody and Roman versus Punk. Honestly, the last time we did this, I defeated Santi. The last time we had a wager, and you paid your debts like 50 years later.
But I paid. A Lannister always pays his debts. It might be late.
he also says, also Santi, be prepared. I think Jelly's showing up to set up a match at WrestleMania. Hashtag oil up, hashtag Santi Daddy.
That's a weird hashtag. I don't like that hashtag. I don't like that hashtag.
Thank you, Suicide Cowboy. We got Ryan Sully here. Says, damn, prayers for Conan. Oh, wait, what? I did not see this, Ryan Sully. He says, prayers for Conan was recently hospitalized and now has to have one of his legs amputated due to medical complications. What? I'm sorry, I did not see that on social media. I have to look at that. Thank you, Ryan. We got Bully here who says, can we talk about the new tag team #1 contenders, the Wapah King and the Never Seen Truth? That told me everything I needed to know. They got no plans for Damian Priest.
I think they're gonna just find a way to get him onto the Mania card. What I'm seeing here is they're gonna put Damian and R-Truth in a tag team championship sponsored match on the pre-show. You know how they're doing it that extra hour? It just screams that first hour on ESPN2 for
Oh,
night
yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Thank you, Bully. We got Ryan Ripson here says, Drew clearly isn't a main event guy. Shaking my head. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just the fact that, like you said, Santi, any other time, any other place, maybe, but not this WrestleMania. Right here. Thank you, Ryan. We got David Primero here says, Cody sucks. He's a fake blonde Nepo baby. Damn! Damn! He says, unfair for Drew. He should have kept the title. I will be more angry if Roman wins at WrestleMania. Punk needs to win more. This one's difficult too, because here's the thing. When you insult somebody's dead relative, if Roman doesn't defeat Punk after that line, don't you think that makes Roman look bad? Like, oh man, like the guy who made fun of your dad passing and basically saying he's gonna lay you next to him, and you couldn't defeat that guy?
And if he brings up the dead dog, that's also pretty bad.
People are waiting for it. People want that line.
You gotta bring Larry into it. I'm sorry to dig up the corpse of the poor adorable little Larry, but you gotta have to at this
Crazy. I can't believe we got it here. We got Steven Marchuli here who says, if you want to put the title on Randy, wait for Backlash. Have him turn on Raw after WrestleMania. Do you really want TV1 losing 2 years in a row? TV1. But to me, look, I'm sorry. I think Randy should win it. I've set in stone with Cena. I think they need to tease the possibility of him catching up to John Cena. I think it would be exciting to see Randy hold the title, and it would feel like something different on the show. Nishi Forever here says, if Cody's retaining at Mania, he's turning heel. Thank you, Nishi. We got CJ here who says, I think it's more about people's lack of faith in the booking for title reigns in the last couple of years. Kills the excitement for me, for sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying, where it's like they're kind of doing better with the chase than the actual moment. Thank you. We got MB the Engineer. By the way, thank you so much for sending in 5 DWO memberships. It's very nice of you. We got Sads223 here who says, I wonder what's WWE's plan for Mello for WrestleMania. I don't know, but I was very happy today with an equal to Dr. Wagner Jr. answering his challenge. This is what I want out of my US Open Challenge matches. People that I did not expect to go out there, and also bring a different kind of matchup for Carmelo. But I don't know. Would it be something? Oh no, there are different brands.
I feel like
Oh
that's
yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. You're right. They kept they keep putting it off. Where it's like, oh, we're gonna do it, and then we're not. Blah blah blah.
Well,
I
Jerry
like the
believed that's
suggestion somebody had in my
she had
chat
a
to,
career by weakness and
to really spice
because
that
he
up,
didn't know
maybe make that like a 2 out of 3 balls, right?
Well, that'd be nice. Yeah. Thank you. We got David Romero here says, do you believe the story that Drew lost the title because he would be shooting a movie after WrestleMania? MJF kept the title while shooting the movie. No.
So she's a career by weakness.
No, I had said a while back on my last show that I assume the reason why they had Drew win the title was just that they have Cody appear in the Rumble and appear in the Elimination Chamber to make it more intriguing, having him in both of those matches.
Also, not forget that Cody won the championship from Cena only to go immediately film Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you, David. We also got Suicide Cowboy here who says, what's y'all's favorite video games, wrestling or in general? Here comes the pain for me and Mass Effect Trilogy God of War. Like
I mean,
have.
with the gamer cat ears that you've got, yeah, of course.
I played like 1,000 video games. All of them.
Nice.
All of the ones you can think of.
But have you played the Scorpion King video game?
Yeah, like 10 times.
Yeah, this game's amazing.
Yeah, all the way.
Anyways.
Are you buying any of this?
No, of course
Oh, okay. Okay. Am I not giving the vibes here that I'm an expert gamer?
No, not at all.
No, I do not play video games. I was not any good at them. However, I did play them when I was younger for fun. And I remember every video game I've ever played, Santi. Grand Theft Auto. I played Resident Evil. I played Final Fantasy. I played Manhunt. I played those little games, the ones that come with like a bunch of games all in one console. And then I played like there was WWE 2K25, and then I played another WWE game, two WWE games from the past. I forget which ones they were though. I think one was Raw versus Smackdown, and then the other one I don't even remember what it was, but it was on Nintendo.
That's kind of a crazy lineup. Yeah. Manhunt?
Yeah.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah, I had, well, because my stepdad had that game, and one time I was so bored at the house, I had nothing else to do.
How old were you when you played Manhunt?
Probably like 13, 14.
That is not a game you should
I
have
got
been playing.
bored. I was playing it, and I was so bored. I'm like, this is so boring. I grabbed a bottle. All I need to do is drive and run around, and I'll just run everybody over in the car.
That's a really great resume, as little games as it is. You pick
Well, Mike will end the video. Until that time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below y'all want to see more. Until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for all the support. I'll see y'all later. Gonna end the video. I made it pretty short, I made it long enough.